Hi everyone, I wanted to just show you today how I do my poke bowl. It's great for like midweek, it's not too expensive to make, and it's packed with loads of veg. It's going to take me about 15 to 20 minutes. So firstly I'm going to start with the sweet potatoes because they're going to take me the longest time. I'll cut them up, add loads of olive oil, salt, cumin, paprika, and then I'll put them in the oven. But I set that as kind of my mental timer for when I want to be done. And I also add corn flour. Corn flour helps it make it crunchy. You can also add these potatoes, it helps a little bit. So the minute my sweet potatoes in, my timer's on, and I'm ready to start going through everything else. So with a lot of veg that we get in England especially, this comes from quite far away, especially in the winter. So we're always trying to add quite a lot to it to just elevate the flavour. So I want to add the fat to kind of carry the flavour, and then the salt to just elevate the flavour. So these I've cut the chives really finely so I can, with every single bite, I can taste it. So you can see everything I need is around me. Like I'm not walking too much, I need to put things where I need to put them. If you're always walking, it means you haven't set up properly, you haven't thought about what you needed. And that just makes it a horrible experience when you're trying to cook and you're constantly going up, down, all over the kitchen trying to grab things, and it's just not a fun experience. So straight into boiling water with the broccoli. Make sure it's boiling, and also make sure it's really, like, always when I go to other people's houses and they salt like water for veg or pasta, they kind of just like sprinkle it in, like taste the water and make sure it tastes like the sea. If it doesn't, then your veg is just going to taste extremely bland. So now in my head, every time I move on to a different veg or a different section of what I'm doing, I always clean down. So at the end, when everything's done, everything's pretty much already clean. I just need to wash the things that I've actually got the food in. And yeah, with the beetroot, I cut it actually on the work surface because it would just stain my board and it's impossible to get out. With beetroot, I always like to add sweetness. You can do this with maple syrup, honey, or the best thing to use is agave. And with the broccoli here, I'm gonna put it straight into cold water. This stops the cooking. Makes it, you can see the colour is like really nice and green. And also it's a lot of a crunch as well. Because the minute you take it out, it's still gonna cook, even if you just leave it on its own. Now moving on to the avocado. I peel my avocados. If you have a really nice avocado, you can peel it easily. Usually when you take it out with a spoon, it can just kind of take out half of the avocado instead of taking out the whole thing. So I'm just going to put a little bit of lime and a little bit of salt. People use lemon, but to be honest, it's way better using lime. Now you can see the broccoli is perfectly green. If you have a steamer in your house, cooking veg at 84 degrees is the best way to cook it. It just keeps all the pigments in it. So with this is my base now. So I'm not using sushi rice. I'm going to use couscous, paprika, salt, and tomato puree. I'm just going to work it in with my hands. Don't just mix it in with a spoon or you'll have loads of clumps of tomato puree. So I get my cling film ready, I pour in the broccoli water, and then I cover it straight away. And I just make sure it's just about covered. And then I leave it for the side for 10 minutes. A lot of the time you'll pour water in, mix it, it will absorb it, you mix it again, and then you end up having couscous that's too soggy or not cooked enough. So just make sure you get the cling film on straight away, and then it steams it and sorts everything out. So I'm going to add a little bit of coriander, taste it, season it again, try and taste everything. You know, it makes such a huge difference. So now everything's pretty much done. I'm going to clean down, make sure my board's ready. I also got some bean sprouts. I love it because they just add a little bit of crunch. You don't need to do anything with them. And they're about 70p. And with this, you can, if you don't use it all at once, like you can make loads of this and have it for the whole week. You know, and you don't need to have, and if somebody doesn't like something, you can pick and choose it. Like I do this maybe twice a week. It's really healthy for you because it's got everything that's raw and it's really tasty. Okay, thank you guys.